Alright, here I am on my gunslinger, my saboteur gunslinger Rishi, and I'll explain why I'm not going to do a perfect rotation here. Usually perfect rotations can only be done on a dummy or maybe an operation boss, but I'll get into why I'm not going to do a perfect rotation here after I do this fight. It's a kind of high health melee enemy who will charge me, and as I've stated in other videos, I hate that. I just don't like being a ranged character that shoots enemies in the face from 1 centimeter. I just find there's something goofy about it. So I really love the saboteur gunslinger because he's got a lot of slows. This enemy has an unusual buff. You usually only see this on champions. You can't interrupt any of this boss's attacks. It's a she, so you can't interrupt her attacks. Now, this is where I'm already sort of violating a good rotation. I'm putting my incendiary grenade, which has a nice slow on it. I'm always going to keep it in front of her, so she's got to run through the entire thing. If I drop it right on top of her, she only has to go through half of it. So by keeping it in front of her, she's always getting this 70% slow on her. And I have other abilities to put a slow on her, too. And as you can see, she never got anywhere near me. So really, it was very practical. Although I'm certain that purists would criticize and call me, terrible player, bad player, horrible rotation. I'd have to disagree. I mean, I didn't burn through my energy at all. I maintained my energy well. I used all the buffs like explosive charge used to be sabotage charge. Eventually, that will restore energy when it goes off. All things like that. You can learn the rotation of these classes. It's really not too hard. But that's why I didn't do a perfect rotation. You can go on a target dummy, and you learn a good rotation, and you can go forever without running out of energy, and you'll get pretty good DPS. You get very high DPS because that's what it is. That's what a good rotation is. It's a way to get high damage and the most efficient use of your resources, whether it's energy or heat or your force pool. But in reality, even with boss fights, that is often not possible. You will be stunned. You will be knocked back. You will have to get out of AoE abilities, and all of this stuff is going to break your rotation down and throw it out of sync. So it's really a very ivory tower consideration, this obsession with the perfect rotation. It's very good to know. I think it's a must to know. That's the way you'll get the most out of the class, but to obsess over it, I find really very picayune and really not all that smart in the end. It's more a snotty attitude than good playing. And anyway, that's really why I have chosen, well, not so much chosen, I was surprised that I liked the Gunslinger as much as I did. I thought I'd give it a shot way back when I started it, and found out that, yeah, the Saboteur is really where it's at for me. Particularly because this is, for me, the range class that has, for my playstyle, the best ability to keep melee enemies from getting right in my face. And if they do, I have a knockback, and then I can apply another slow on them. But for me, I get a real charge out of never letting them even get near me. And pretty often, most often, I'm successful with that on the Saboteur Slinger, so I really like it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll cut this off here.